Let's join the NXT versus AEW. Yes, we have joined the fray once again. And once again, I would like to welcome all my new folks from YouTube and all the folks that I invited from Reddit and so forth. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Fray for All. I thought it went very well last week, and I hope to continue that train on. And for anybody who's new joining, once again, we don't care about the ratings between these two shows. We only care about the content. So with that, we have to get the boring part out the way. Now that's done, let's get started with the AEW rundown. I don't normally do this because I like to go off the cuff sometimes, but there was a lot of spots in this bout at the beginning of AEW, so I have to use my notes. And of course, it was Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega tagging against Santana and Ortiz, or like they like to call themselves, Proud and Powerful, against the best friends, of course. Orange Cassidy is not too far away, against Young Bucks. It was a fatal 4-way tag match, and this match was awesome, man. I mean, you had spot after spot, and yeah, I know they did some crap about Baron Corbin, mocking all the spots and all that stuff, but something tells me he can't do half the stuff these guys are doing. So as far as spot, first of all, Ortiz was out there looking like Haku or Ming or whatever with that bushy hairstyle. Like, I thought it was Ming for a second. Like, I haven't seen that in a while. And throughout the match, you had situations where Kenny and the Young Bucks were teaming up. Notice I say Kenny and the Young Bucks, but more on that in a minute. And Santana and Ortiz, they was actually looking pretty good in the ring. And dude, Trent hit a DDT after one of the Young Bucks hit him with 4 consecutive Northern Lights suplex. And honestly, I guarantee you, I'm not speaking against the WWE, not at all. But I know that they would have never showcased Trent's talent. This dude, both of them, best friends, these guys can move very well in the ring. They're very talented, and I never knew. I was shocked watching AEW and watching them. I was. And then you had swapping vertical suplex, the same something Santana and Ortiz like to do. I actually like how they do that. And then Matt Jackson did some type of wicked stunner. Like I said, man, it's like spot after spot in this match that I couldn't commit it all together. I actually had to write everything down. Like, wow, what in the world? Kenny and Hangman with the moonsaults. Like I said, this was exciting, man. Anytime, look, this match had not one, but two This Is Awesome chants. Candidate for best match most of the time only has one. This had 2, because you have 4 great tag teams in one match. Now, there were a couple of dangerous spots I'm not even going to talk about. I'm just glad everybody's okay. And let's see, it looked like the best friends almost had Kenny Omega beat with Ground Zero. And everybody knows one of my favorite things in the world, Kenny Omega Snapdragon Suplex. I don't know what it is, man. It's like, if I was in the crowd and I see him do it, I'll be hollering like crazy. I'll be the loudest one out there. Yes, I said it. Let's see. Of course, they do the whole thing. I call it the seesaw effect. When a group of people trying to suplex each other, but Cassidy actually got in and helped, and he helped the best friends and Santa Ortiz suplex Page, Omega, and Young Bucks. And so Hangman eventually does a blind tag and wins the match. Young Bucks were not happy with him at all. Like I said, it's obvious that they're doing something with Page to the point that, I mean, either he's going to be a heel or he's going to be some type of negative tweener and whatnot. But like I said, this match was phenomenal. I enjoyed it. And for that to be an opening match, honestly, I think it should have been the main event. But hey, it was still great. I'm all for it. Gotta get attention early, right? Cody Rhodes interview, he comes out and he goes over the terms of MJF's terms, and he agrees to all of them. Yeah, he agrees to all of them. Now, one thing that stood out for me, he called MJF an old school heel. Now, faces and heels, that's something that, you know, us, the fans, say. You never hear anybody call another wrestler a face or a heel, you know, unless it's in a joking manner. So that just felt like Cody was kind of breaking the fourth wall, or as we say in the wrestling world, breaking kayfabe, so to speak. So I thought that was pretty good. Now, here's one thing. Yeah, I had to look at my notes again. One thing Cody said about MJF, he said his father said about somebody else, he'd be like, "This is not your story. You're just a chapter in mine." Cody with the burn. And there was a Joey Janela promo. He talked about Penelope Ford and her low blow. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Yeah, backstage. Her and Kip Sabian went back there, and she did. I think Joey Janela was talking, and she just hit below the belt. I've never seen an entire interview or vignette based off getting hit in your jump. That was new. Randy Rhodes and Mel versus Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida. It started with this Luther guy wouldn't even let Shida to the ring, and so Mel and Brandy were attacking Statlander, and Shida had to hit him with a cane or whatnot just to get to the ring. That was crazy. And I will say this Mel chick, she's tough. She obviously big, strong. She reminds me, not necessarily the style, but I guess as far as stature goes, kind of reminds me of Rhea Ripley just a little bit. I mean, people are probably going to gripe at me about that, but yep, that's exactly. I mean, if I had to describe how she looks. So, of course, I'm sorry, guys. I know I've been talking so much mess about the AEW women's matches because they're a mess. I mean, don't get me wrong. Shida, Statlander, Mel, they have their own. Not even gonna get into Brandy at all. But I don't know, it just wasn't there for me. I mean, I'm just being honest. And of course, Statlander wins with what they call the Big Bang Theory. So that's how that is. Sorry, ladies. It was a Dark Order vignette, and they talked about recruiting members that seems like not a lot of people pay attention to, like Nakazawa and so forth. And we'll see where that goes. Not too much to talk about with that. But you had Sammy Guevara versus Jon Moxley. Now, one thing about Sammy Guevara, he actually makes me want to look at the picture-in-picture during the commercial break, because normally I don't. But as soon as he started doing the cue cards, honestly, whoever from AEW Creative came up with that was a great idea, because that actually made me pay attention. Of course, the cue cards was talking about how he felt about Mox turning on them last week, which was beautiful. Yeah, and to make matters worse, that car that Jon Moxley took last week, he drove it right into the arena. If that ain't gangsta, I don't know what is. And make matters better, Sammy Guevara actually wore shorts that fit tonight. And you know what? Match started. Sammy got started early. And Mox got right back in there, so he was giving Mox a run for his money. I will say that. Then we have to come to another part where it's another Spanish Fly. Too many. Anyhow, like I said, it was actually a pretty good match. And in fact, Sammy Guevara did a moonsault, and then Mox countered it into a sleeper hold on the ground, and Sammy tapped out. So that's Sammy Guevara's first loss this year. And Mox, well, of course, this was a match between two matches to determine the #1 contender to Chris Jericho's title. So Mox wins this match, and it's a match between Darby Allin and Pac later on the night to see who exactly is going to face Mox and who's going to win that match to face Jericho afterwards. Of course, that wasn't the end of everything, because the lights go out, Jericho's music hit first, then the lights go out. All of a sudden, the Inner Circle is in the ring. Normally, I would say they're surrounding Mox, but no. The Inner Circle was in the ring, and Mox was on the other side of the ring. Nobody was behind him, except for Sammy Guevara, who was on the ground. Here's the thing. The way out was where Mox was standing, so he wasn't surrounded. He had a clear way out, and he acted like he was trapped. What? Anyway, so they continued to whoop on Mox, and Jericho took a spike from his jacket and hit Moxley in the eye. So I guess Moxley's half blind now, something like that. And then right after this whole Jericho and the Inner Circle were interviewed, which the sound kept cutting out. All right, this is the second week in a row, sound guy. I can do sound better than that, but hey, whatever. Butcher, Blade, and MJF versus Dustin, QT Marshall, and DDP. Yo. No, but QT Marshall, that dude can move. Like, you wouldn't think anybody his size could move, but that dude can move in the ring now. And DDP looking kind of pale, but I guess he still got it. He's not in bad shape at all. I guess it's the yoga. Like I said, it's just his skin look kind of pale. I don't know if he won't get no sun or whatnot. Of course, the bunny, she was making, Allie, whatever her name, she was making her presence felt throughout the match, attacking Dustin and whatnot. Of course, Wardlow was doing the same thing. And oh goodness gracious. I complained about Spanish Fly. What else do we get? A Canadian Destroyer. Oh, come on! And if that wasn't enough, MJF wins the match with a roll-up.
Jesus Almighty!
Unfortunately, I'm not done talking about this match yet. For those of you on YouTube, you're going to see the debut of a segment. I'll let you check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another edition of Ain't That a Botch, where we point out everything that goes wrong because you're not going to play us for a fool. So let me just show you the footage. Henry, roll it.
How about that discus lariat? Oh man, that was number 10. What?
MJF. Did you forget that your head was supposed to hit the turnbuckle? Why would you do a moonsault off the corner like that? I mean, at the same time, I thought you tripped and fell. I didn't know what was going on. I had to look at it many times, then I realized it was a botch. But you know what? We all make mistakes, so I guess I gotta let that slide. But no, we don't tolerate that here, especially in the fray. Speaking of the fray, let's go ahead and head back. Thank you. Alright, then there was a SCU interview, and during this interview, Hangman Adam Page interrupts drunkenly, and Kenny Omega had to calm him down or whatnot, and he apologized to SCU. He's like, y'all great tag team, we'll see y'all, because they got the number one contendership, so they're going to face SCU at some point in the future. I don't know if it's next week or not. Now, as far as Hangman Adam Page being the, I guess, the drunk superstar or whatever, somebody on my Facebook page hinted at that, and turns out they were right. Shout out to Cage Aaron. I hear you. That was the main event of Pac versus Darby Allin, and you know what? There was like an awesome chain wrestling sequence within this match. I was all like, okay, I see both of y'all. I mean, I like both of these guys in the ring, so I didn't expect anything less. One thing I wish I saw less of in this match was a daggone Canadian destroyer. We went from good spots, like crucifix bombs off the top rope that looked like they could have broke somebody's neck. We had some big, awesome drop kicks. I know these guys are small, but they can really pack a wallop with those drop kicks. And like I said, they go back and forth. Ultimately, Pac won with a black arrow. So Shivani goes in the ring to interview Pac. And Pac's all like, I'm facing Jericho. Obviously, Jon Moxley's in no condition to compete. So Jon Moxley was in the ambulance. They was about to take him away. He broke out of the ambulance, came down to the ring, and he told Mox, you're facing me next week or whenever they're facing. And he was all like, I'm still here and I'm ready to fight, And that's pretty much how the show ended. So that's your AEW rundown. AEW superlatives. Match of the night, I gave it to the Fatal 4-Way with Young Bucks, best friends, Proud and Powerful, and then Omega and Page, because that was awesome. Best promo, I gave to Cody, even if he broke the fourth wall. Best continued storyline, I gave that one to Mox and Jericho, because you did see the aftermath from what happened at the end of the show last week. Crowd favorite tonight was Jon Moxley with a total of 4 chants. And best segment to me was the segment between Mox and Pac. Like I said, if you don't agree with my decisions, let me know in the comments. Just talk to me. And I value your input. So just let me know. We started with Keith Lee coming to the ring. Part of me was a bit upset because the fact he was in regular clothes. So I'm all like, what? We're actually not going to see Keith Lee in the ring tonight? I'm like, anyway. So he was doing his promo, whatever. Ultimately, Undisputed Era came out, started to beat on him. He was handling himself for a while, but eventually the numbers got too much for him. Then, they do the whole thing where he put the chair on the ankle, stomp on. They was trying to break Keith Lee's ankle. Believe that was Roderick Strong that did that, of course, because Keith Lee's his #1 contender. Then Ciampa comes out after they do this and kind of runs them off. That's how the show started. They had to take Keith Lee back to the trainer's room. You know, the usual shtick with that. We had Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle, who have dubbed themselves Broserweights, against Andrews and Webster. Now, both of these teams, amazing. I enjoyed this. It's amazing how tag team wrestling, whether it's a fatal four-way, or just regular tag team wrestling, how these are some of the greatest matches tonight. In fact, this one actually got a tag team wrestling chant, and you don't hear that too much unless the match is fire. I mean, at one point you had a vertical suplex thrown into a powerbomb. You can't even make that up, man. Eventually, Broserweights win, but this match was amazing. Now in TakeOver Blackpool, sorry, my brain fart. Undisputed Era attacked Imperium. So this is the promo after that they showed, like, you know, tape recording. I can't really tell you what they said because even though I've lived in Germany 3 years, I cannot speak it that well, and I don't even know if that's what they were speaking. All I know is they weren't speaking English, but they were cutting the promo. Then Ciampa was cutting the promo. Then he was getting attacked by Undisputed Era. And who comes to his aid? None other than Johnny Wrestling. That's right, DIY, baby. Well, at least for a moment. At least we thought it was for a moment. Then over Twitter, I believe, Mustache Mountain challenged DIY. I'm happy. You know, I like to give some light shine to Mauro Ranallo's comments. The only clever one I actually caught him saying tonight was how I guess he was talking about somebody stealing hearts like Baby Yoda. Okay, Mauro, your line was good, but to all those who are stuck on this whole Baby Yoda thing, I get it. I love Star Wars too. Yes, Mandalorian was a great show. And the child, that's what it is, the child. Yoda's not even his name. Y'all say it's just because he looks like Yoda, but come on, guys. How long has it been? That craze has to die very, very soon. Talking about, I'm just playing, you know, you're my friend, huh? You're that. But anyway, I thought that was a good line from Mauro Ranallo. Kushida and Alex Shelley versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. Now, I have not seen Alex Shelley in some years. The last time I seen Alex Shelley was in Impact when he was half of the Motor City Machine Guns with Chris Sabin. That was the last time I seen Alex Shelley. Like, I didn't even recognize him. Hairstyle different and everything. And honestly, this team, they remind me, I mean, the way they move, they kind of reminded me of how the Motor City Machine Guns were, minus the minor botches that they used to do. Now, of course, these are two talented teams. The Grizzled Young Veterans, these guys are no joke. Of course, from NXT UK. And so it was really just back and forth with them. And the Grizzled Young Veterans, they ended up getting a win. So Kushida and Shelley, they were, you know, out of respect, they wanted to shake hands. The Grizzled Young Veterans said no. They pretty much shaded them. So, you know, they had their promo, whatever. They're all like, we're the best thing around. Yes, you're a great tag team, but you're not the tag team. You know how that goes. My thing is, if somebody shows respect, give them respect. Because no matter how good you are, somebody will put you in your place. So after Chelsea Green and Robert Stone vignette, and a Balor vignette, somebody he's facing, probably like Worlds Collide, and Garza is joining the commentary team because next is the #1 contendership match between Lio Rush, Tyler Breeze, and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Now, these are 3 talented wrestlers. Oh my gosh. First of all, Swerve was tearing it up, but no, listen. There was a spot. You can't even choreograph this spot. I think between Lio Rush and Swerve, somebody did Tope Suicido, but landing on their feet, and from the back foot landing on their feet, and somebody else did a moonsault from the ring apron, and when they landed, they was face to face.
Holy shit.
And then somewhere else in the match, I saw somebody do, it was like, what is it? Oh yeah. Somebody was about to do a vertical suplex to somebody else in the ring, and behind that person, a German suplex. I don't see that too much with cruiserweights, but hey, these guys are amazing. Now ultimately, Swerve won with the SML driver. Then after that, we had a Rhea interview saying, okay, she's ready for whoever's going to win this Battle Royal. And we had DIY interview in which they accepted Mustache Mountain's challenge. Yes. And then during that whole DIY interview, Undisputed Era tried to come out and attack them, whatever. It was Keith Lee coming out, wrecking shop, beating them all up. I enjoyed it. All right, the main event was the Battle Royal for the women's #1 contendership. Now, I don't do play-by-play with Battle Royals that well, so I just noted a couple of key points. For Catanzaro, she got the welcome back chance. She's been gone for a while. Tegan Knox is back. And Shayna Baszler came out. That was shocking. Yeah, so MJ Jenkins was the first to be eliminated. Okay, one other thing. Mercedes Martinez, okay, she's actually on contract with NXT now, but I didn't think it was, me personally, I didn't think a Battle Royal would have been a right type of debut for her, because, you know, she's well known and people have been wanting her to come onto the NXT roster for a while, and then debut matches in the Battle Royal. I don't know how exactly I feel about that, but hey, as far as booking goes, I have no problem with NXT, so I hirsch my mouth. And okay, so Catalina got eliminated. The way she got eliminated, it looked like an accident. It looked like she meant to kind of grab on to something, whatever, but no, she fell right over. And the way it looked, it didn't look like it was a spot for a purposeful spot for real. And Kaden Carter eliminated. Not surprised. Now, Xia Li, she was beasting for a moment. You know, she had the hurricane kick and all that stuff. I think she eventually got eliminated. Mercedes got eliminated. Shotzi eliminated Shayna Baszler. Then she got eliminated. So it basically came down to Io Shirai and Bianca Belair. I mean, and you know, it was a good way to end it because you didn't know who was going to win. These women were going back and forth. They were like, oh, Belair's going to go out. Like, oh, Io's going to go out. And speaking of, well, I'll get to that in a second. But ultimately, Bianca Belair won. I thought this was a good decision to have her win and have her go up against Rhea Ripley. I think that's indeed going to be a very good match because with her strength and both women are strong, of course. Belair is short, but don't let her size fool you. That woman can throw. For real. And that is your NXT rundown. Superlatives for NXT. Match of the night. I had Broserweight versus Andrews and Webster. Best promo. I actually had Ciampa. And best storyline is something that I forgot to mention to you guys in the Battle Royal. So Tegan Knox was actually in there handling business. And I think she went to eliminate something. Or she was at the edge of the... No, she was on the top rope. I think about to splash on somebody. Then Dakota Kai came, pulled her down to the ground, eliminating her, then ran. So since that is a dragging out storyline, and I think that was important, being that Knox is finally back and she definitely wants to get her hands on Dakota Kai, I'm sure. That's why I chose that to be the best active storyline, especially when you look at everything else. Now, crowd favorite was Io Shirai with 8 chants. Yes, she beat Keith Lee by 3 chants. And best segment was that whole segment between DIY and UE, and then Undisputed Era, and then Keith Lee coming wrecking shop. That, to me, that was the best segment. And that is your NXT superlatives. All right, I guess we'll see who the winner of Fray4ALL is. Let's get it. Now, I know since this is the 12th show, I know NXT has maybe 7. The most, or they have more against AEW, but AEW definitely pulled it out tonight. So congrats to AEW, you won Fray4ALL. To everybody else, just click like, subscribe. Don't be afraid to leave a comment below. You know all the stuff everybody else on YouTube be saying. And for those y'all on Facebook, holla at me. All right, thanks for joining the Fray. Yeah, have a great night. One other thing, printers aren't on. Doesn't feel right. Anyway, okay, I'm done. Have a good night.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?